Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faris bin Ahmad Zainal Abiddin. With my partner, we'll present to you our research study is the implication of the green concept policy and the lifestyle among degree student Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies at Universiti Teknologi Seremban campus. We're gonna start with the research background. The Malaysian government now has accounted and faced a new kind by old threat that has been an issue for countries that are widely spread through and within the people of the nation itself, which is a health condition. There are two factors that influence their social life in this research. They are a green zone and the method or ways of using green zone. The purpose of this study was to examine the influence of green zone and the method or ways of using green zone toward the social life of degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and the Policy Studies at the Universiti Teknologi Seremban campus. Next, we go to the problem statement for this study. In 2005, studies show how outside in a green area can play an important role in the public health, as this environment contributes to the physical activities. The students know about the green space in their residence area. Unfortunately, some of them are still not aware of the impact of green space has on the social life of the student. After that, we go to the research question and research objective. There are three objectives in the research, which is to examine the relationship between green zone and the social life of degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University of Teknologi Seremban campus. Next is to examine the relationship between method or ways of using green zone and the social life of degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, Universiti Teknologi Seremban campus. And the last is to examine the most significant predictor on the influence of green zone towards social life of degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, Universiti Teknologi Seremban campus, while the research question is a reflection from the research objective. So, I pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all. My name is Mohd Ridzuan Bin Rohaizad and I will be presenting about the conception framework of this research paper. As my partner mentioned just now, there are two independent variables and one dependent variable. So the first independent variable will be the influence of the green zone towards the social life. So the influence of the green zone can give an impact to the social life of people, whereby according to Suti in 2018, in 2016, more than 60 million adults in the United States alone has suffered from at least one major depressive episode. So for this independent variable, the hypothesis will be the H null. There is no significant relationship between the green zone and social life of this degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University of Teknologi Seremban campus. And for the H1 will be there is a significant relationship between the green zone and social life of the degree students of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University of Teknologi Seremban campus. The second independent variable will be the influence of the methods or ways of using the green zone itself towards the social life. So, according to Heng Wang in 2019, the green zone is a very valuable resource for physical activities of urban inhabitants and has a potential to reduce any chronic illness and improve health as well. So, for this hypothesis, H null, there is no significant relationship between the methods or ways of using green zone and social life of degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University of Teknologi Seremban campus. H1, there is a significant relationship between methods or ways using the green zone and social life of the degree students of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University of Teknologi Seremban campus. So let us continue to the research methodology. So for the research design, we have chosen the quantitative survey study for our research design, whereby it can help for us to collect a large amount of data for the generalization of the data to be achieved. For the unit of analysis, of course, the study of our paper will be focusing on the relationship of the green zone and the social life of the degree students of Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, where the unit of analysis will be the individual from the degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and the Policy Studies. For the sample size, we have chosen 300 respondents to be our sample size. And for the sampling technique, we have chosen the probability sampling. Under the probability sampling will be the simple random sampling technique, where the 300 respondents will be chosen randomly throughout the degree student from the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies. For the data measurement, we have chosen the Richter scale as our scale of measurement, whereby it will be labeled from 1 to 5, where the end of the one end will be labeled as strongly agree and the other end will be labeled as strongly disagree. For the data collection, they consists of 4 sections, which consists of section A, which is demography. Consists of 8 questions regarding the profile of the respondent itself. Section B, which is the green zone, which consists of 8 questions regarding the green concept of the green zone itself. Section C, the methods or ways of using the green zone or green space. They will consist of 7 questions regarding the methods or ways of the using of the green zone or the green space itself. And the last section will be the section D, will be the influence towards the social life. This will consist of 6 questions regarding the effect and influence of the green concept of green zone towards their social life, to their social life. So last but not least will be the data analysis. So for our research paper, we have chosen Pearson correlation and also the multiple regression. So let us continue to the research finding. In the research finding, there will be the demographic profile. So for the first aspect of the demographic profile will be the gender. So male has the highest percentage for the gender, which 50.3%, which with the frequency of 151 respondents. For the age of 21 until 23 years old has the highest percentage of 59.7%, with the frequency of 179. For the marital status, for the single has the highest percentage of 99.7% with the frequency of 299 respondents. For the course, AM225 and AM226 share the same higher percentage, which is 33.7% with the frequency of 101 respondents for both courses. For the current CGPA, the highest, the 3.5 and above has the highest percentage of 50% with the frequency of 150 respondents. For the years of study, the non-final year has the highest percentage of 52.3% with the frequency of 157 respondents. For the current place of the residence, the urban area has the highest percentage of 58.3% with the frequency of 175 respondents. Last but not least, the distance nearest to the green zone, where the 3.1 km and above has the highest percentage of all, which is 63%, which consists of 189 respondents for the frequency itself.
We go to the main finding. The first objective, we use Pearson correlation and get the result. R value is 0.593 and the P value is 0.000, and the hypothesis is hypothesis alternative 1 is accepted and reject hypothesis null 1. The next objective, use the peer correlation 2 and the result R value is 0.684 and the P value is 0.00, and the hypothesis, we accept hypothesis alternative 2 and we reject hypothesis null 2. And the last objective, we use multiple regression and the result is R square is 0.550. For the green zone, the beta value is 0.333 and the P value is 0.000, while the method or ways of using the green zone, the beta value is 0.516 and the P value is 0.000. So we conclude that the method or ways of using green zone is the most significant factor compared other factors.
So for the research recommendation, we will focus on the 3 important aspects, which is the first is the roles of the student to get a better social life. So this can be done through a simple invitation from their friends or even own initiative that not only the academic aspect must be their excellency, but also in the aspect of health. For example, joining or participating with the friends in the evening activities like jogging, sport, or even recreational activities can surely bring some changes in their social life or in increasing the quality of life of the student itself. So for the second important aspect will be the role of the community itself to make the social life of degree student better. So this can be done through the inviting the students to join or participate in any of the events that will be held in any of the green park or green zone, so that the student will be encouraged to come to the park to conduct their recreational activities, like holding a sport or sport event that can surely establish a stronger bond between the student and the community itself. So last but not least will be the roles of the government itself to make the social life of the degree student better. This can be done through the government can make some new policy or new regulation that will require the student to be balanced in both of the academic and the quality of life aspect. For example, the introduction of the ICGPA that been by the education authority or the education institution can be the benchmark or the model for the government to make a new policy in ensuring the student will be balanced in those two aspects, where in the ICGPA it teaches or it requires the student not only to focus on the academic aspect itself but also on the co-curricular aspect as well.
For the limitation of the study and the future research suggestion, first is the weakness of the quantitative study. The researchers have used the quantitative method in this study where the process of the data collection was not in-depth. The data collected and analyzed from various sources. In this report, the data collection should be more focused on the data quality as a guideline. Even though for the researchers, it is very important to prevent errors in this analysis, since the researchers use quantitative approach in data analysis that rely on the data quantities than on the data quality, a certain error could occur in the study. In order to make sure that the data collection is more reliable and accurate than using the questionnaire, the researchers can carry out an interview session with the respondents. At the interview, so the interviewees will answer the question honestly and correctly, and there are no restricted choices for them. So the next is limited model. The sample size, where the sample size of the study is limited, lead researchers to use a thumb-based rule as we aim for the social impact of the green zone of students from the Universiti Teknologi Seremban campus, degree in Administrative Science and Political Studies. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic has attacked the planet, restricting the travel of the investigator in order to meet further respondents due to movement control order. Researcher will then reach them only with the use of social media like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. In comparison, it is somehow very difficult to get respondents to answer the online questionnaire, since many hesitate to react to it. Lastly, the lack of variables. This study is a lack of variable where there are only two independent variables that researchers are studying. In other words, the researchers are only research the basic element as shown in literature review. The researchers concluded that it would be better to restrict the independent variable, but it somehow did not cause a great many different results on the independent variable, which restrict the researchers to think about other variables. In other words, it would be easily controlled. It also advised that more independent variables be required for the future studies so that the relationship between the analysis carried out can be seen. So that's all from me. Thank you.
As for the conclusion, the purpose of our research paper is to study the relationship between the green zone and the social life of the degree student of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies. So the research paper itself has indicates and shows that there are significant and positive relationship between the green zone and also the methods or ways of the usage of the green zone and green space and the social life of the degree students of the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies. So that's all from us. Thank you.